All right, so we're gonna go through this institutional self-study. So basically, the first homework assignment, the advisory committee, you already know about that. So we're gonna need their full name, uh, the business name, the address, and whether they're barber, stylist, whatever program they're representing, because you have 4 programs, correct?
So, yeah, well, I got the barbering, the cosmetology, manicuring, instructor, and barber crossover.
Okay, so you have 5 programs. All right.
Yes.
So the advisory committee members, they need to be representing those 5 programs. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. Now, they're going to want copies of the minutes, but we can create those because a lot of schools don't have copies of the minutes. So we can go in and kind of recreate that. Now,
Okay.
the next assignment, we're going to need the current student surveys. Now, we need at least, if you have them, 3 current student surveys for each program, because you got barber, Cosmo, crossover, manicuring, and instructor. So if you did not have students to graduate in those programs, then no need to try to get the surveys because you can't. Does that make sense?
Right. Because, like, for the instructor program, I have not had someone graduate under my license for that. I have a student, but he has not graduated yet.
Okay, no problem. So in the institutional self-study, we'll put a note saying we did not have any students to graduate. But
Okay.
in those other programs, the past 12 months or whatever, if you've had students to graduate, we want to get the graduate exit surveys. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then we want current student surveys also
Okay.
for each program, if you have them, okay?
No, but I can just do a survey and give it to them, right? And have them completed.
Yeah, what you would do with the current student surveys, you'll take the blank copies, and if you don't have those, I'll email those to you. I'll have one of my assistants to send it, and then all you got to do is print them out, go in the classroom, have the students to fill it out. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and send me one.
Okay, I'll put a note on that. I'll make a list of everything I need to send you. So, surveys. So got that. Now, the graduate surveys, the same thing. Okay. All right. Now, can you see the advisory committee members? You see this?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Notice it has their name, where they work, the address, phone number, and their position.
Okay.
All right. So that's how that is.
And how many do I need? Is it 3 or 4?
Well, you got 5 programs. So you definitely want to make sure that the advisory committee members are representing some of those programs. Like if it's Cosmo, they usually want a cosmetologist. So that will have you to cover that. Now, the advisory committee meeting minutes, the documentation, we'll do that for you because a lot of schools don't know how to do that or whatever. It can be kind of cumbersome. So don't worry about that. But what we're going to need, the past 12 months, we're going to need your graduation, placement, and licensure rate. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how to calculate that according to NACA's, the annual report?
No.
All right. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to need to take some time to go over that together. What I'll do, I'll send you a video recording of that with another gold member, and you can kind of look at it to become familiar. And then you and I do a Zoom together to make sure you have it correctly and to answer any questions.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm writing it down. Video of annual report. Now, are you in candidate status with NACA's?
No. No, I mean, I completed the conference, but I haven't did anything with it at that point. because I was changing my name and I wanted to wait until I got that in place.
Okay, so after you get everything in place, the next step is we need to go online and fill out your application online for candidate status. So you need to let me know. And then we need the resumes for that, but that'll be something totally separate. You have to let me know when you're about ready for that, and then we can go over
How will I
that.
know when I'm ready for it? Is it, I mean,
Well, I recommend that people do that as soon as they leave a conference. As soon as they're 18 months in, then they should go ahead and apply with NACAS for candidate status. The application is about $1,500 and maybe $40. Then they have to pay the sustaining fees.
mhm,
The sustaining fees are about $146 a month.
okay,
So just say if you came in mid-year, NACAS would prorate that. So it'd be 146 times 6 months. Does that make sense?
so I do have the 1540 for that and the 146. So I guess I'm ready to do that at this point. To
Okay.
get into candidate status, right?
Yes. So that means we need to do, okay, so we need to do a I have one of my assistants to do your feasibility study this weekend.
Mhm.
Then you have homework. We need resumes for the owners. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then you have your workshop certificates, correct?
Yes.
All right. And then you have the school license. So that's fine. Okay. So then we'll go in and you and I do a Zoom and we'll fill out the application together.
Okay.
What day next week would you like to fill that application out together? It's going to take us probably about 30 minutes, no longer than an hour, probably 30 minutes.
Okay. Hold tight just a second here.
Okay. And can you email me your catalog when you get time?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Let me write that down.
Okay.
Okay. So we can do it, well, any day. 30 minutes is, I can block that off. So you just, whatever works for you.
Do you want to do it Tuesday or Wednesday? Which day would you like?
Probably not Tuesday.
Wednesday or Thursday?
Wednesday would be good.
Okay, so that's the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's the same time, noon. Okay. All right. So I have you in.
Noon?
Yes.
Okay, great.
All right. Now looking at this, so we'll go over that other part next week. Now I got to give you some more homework. You see this
Okay.
current student survey on the screen?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you want to get 3 of these for each program. 3 people.
Okay.
Now, if you don't have 3 students, that's okay. We can just put in the ISS a notation that we didn't have that.
Okay.
Okay.
And these can be, it has to be, I guess, current students because I only
Right.
got one from one previous.
That's fine. Yeah, these are going to be current students because at the top left, you see where it has current student survey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when I send you this, you can have your name, your school name right here. You see where it says course of study.
Mm-hmm.
So you can change that whether it's Barbara, Cosmo, crossover, instructor, whatever. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. Now, the next survey, you see this graduate survey?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you have copies of that? Or if not, I'll send you a blank copy.
No, I don't have one.
Okay, so I'll send you those. So you want to get 3 of those for each program that students graduated. If they didn't graduate or whatever, that's fine. We'll just note that.
Okay.
Now, this date at the bottom that they sign, make sure that's the date that they graduated
Okay.
or after the date that they graduated. Some schools have messed up and put a date before the student graduated. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it wouldn't be good.
No, it wouldn't be good. Okay, great. So now we will move on to standard 2. That was standard 1. Now we're going to need copies of every instructor's license.
Okay.
We're also going to need their hire date. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we also going to need what program they teach.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the student to teacher ratio, where are you located, Deborah?
Missouri.
Missouri. Okay. So student to teacher ratio, what is it? 20 to 1, 25 to 1?
1 to 25.
1 to 25. Okay. And then do you have any substitute instructors?
1.
1. Okay. So we're going to need their license, their name. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All the faculty members, their names and positions are in your catalog. Is that correct?
Say that again now.
All the faculty members, the people that work at the school, their names is in the catalog and their position?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, the instructors, any instructor that has worked at the school for 12 months or longer, they need to have continuing education hours, a certificate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just have 2 instructors right now, myself and another person.
Okay, so have they attended, has everybody attended continuing education hours?
We had to do that in order to get our license renewed.
How many hours did you attend?
8.
Okay,
I think it was 12 if you was accredited.
all right, so now we may have to get some, you're gonna have to get some more hours because yeah. We'll have
Oh,
to,
you need more than that?
yeah, for when you go into accreditation,
Mm-hmm.
you see where it says with instructors are required by the school to complete a minimum of 12 contact hours for continuing education. Okay, so yeah, you need 12, and they usually want a minimum of 4 hours in teaching, with the teaching.
Right. Let me grab my charger, please.
Sure. Yeah, because they have them online. And then if you type in continuing education hours for instructors, if you Google it, sometimes there are places that have them online too, but you can always go to My Latest.
Okay. And so the other instructor would have to have 3 more hours as well, or how many hours are you suggesting?
Well, every NACAS requires a minimum of 12 hours.
So we each need about 4 more hours.
Right, if the instructor has been working there 12 months or more.
She has.
Okay, now, the next thing, any instructor, of course, you're gonna send us the license. We need that for the instructors. And the certificates that you have where you've gone to continuing education hours. Now, every instructor that's been working there for 12 months or longer, they need to fill out an instructor evaluation form. Do you have that form?
No.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Evaluation. Okay.
Now, when filling out this form, put the hire date right here. The evaluation date, you want to do the evaluation date the same date every single year for all the instructors. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
So just pick a date. So just put, I don't know, October, November, whatever, 2021. All right.
Okay.
And then you just go down and check all these, give them 100 or whatever. And then the evaluator, so you're going to sign it, and then the other instructor's going to sign here, the employee, okay?
Okay.
Then you'll have her to evaluate you. She'll sign here, you'll sign here. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at the top left, where it has evaluation date, y'all gonna have the same date because you want to do it on the same day every year.
Every year moving forward, I'd have to do this every year at the same day.
Right. So NACS is gonna ask you, they're gonna say, Deborah, when do you do instructor evaluations? On the anniversary date that the instructor was hired, or do you just pick a date that you do it every year on the same day? So you can just say every year on the same date.
Okay.
All right. So now, when do you, in your catalog, it has when you start class. When do you start class? Every what?
Every month except December.
Okay. And it's got the dates that you're, the holidays in the catalog where you're closed.
Yeah, I use your format
Okay.
that that's in the back office. The only problem that I was having with that, because I had additional information for more programs that I offered, the paging numbers got thrown off because I had to put more it was more information. And so, I'm not very tech with this stuff. So that was the problem for me. So the page, do I have to have the pages numbered?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go back and try to get that in alignment with I guess the index in the front to make sure it's lining up with the information that's in the context.
Okay. Now, do you have Adobe Acrobat? What do you use? Do you have that program?
I thought I did.
Okay, because it does pretty good on editing pages.
So if I don't, I'll download it. And that should make it easier because I was trying to copy and paste and yeah,
Yeah,
I
that'll
got
make
the information. I just need to get it, I guess, more appearance wise.
okay.
Yeah.
And if you need any help showing you how to do Adobe, in case you don't know how to do it, let me know.
Okay.
Now, any of the students, did they, let's see. I want to ask you a question. All right. So those are the license. Do you have your rules and regulations for your state?
For my state,
Mhm.
yeah, for the state of Missouri, I know what the rules and regulations is. What do you mean, like for the programs, how it's set up for the school?
The rules and regulations from the state board, like what you're looking at right here, you said these are the rules and regs from the board.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have those for your state?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, any advertisement that you do,
Mm-hmm.
it must have all work is done by supervised students.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you want to send us whether you got a flyer, postcard, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have an authorization form, the release of information form?
From the students?
The school, like if a student, if they mama or somebody come in wanting to see their grades, they have to fill out a release of information. Do you have those?
Nope.
Okay, so I'll email you a copy of that, one of those.
Is that on occurrence or is that something that if they ask for it, then I would ask the student to do it, or is that something that needs to be done as a part of the registration?
No, it doesn't need to be done as part of registration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. All right, so now on your admissions, do you enroll every week?
We only enroll the first Monday of every month. I mean, they start on the first Monday of every month. I enroll students all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when they enroll, they fill out a enrollment agreement, correct?
Yes, they'll fill out, it's on the website. They'll fill out the information that was sent to me, let me know that they're interested in school. We'll set up, have a tour. I'll tell them about the school. If they're interested in school, we'll do the enrollment agreement. And then I would give them a copy of the handbook at that time.
Okay, so, and then when they come in, they fill out the contract and all that type of stuff.
Yes, on the first day.
All right, now, the contract, NACAS wants a copy of 3 contracts
Mm-hmm.
for each student, each program. So you got Barber, Cosmo, Crossover, all that. So they would want to see examples of 3 for each program if you have them.
Yeah, I do. I did it exactly how you said set it up. And that's how I've been rolling with it. So leading up to, listening to the class, I've been trying to line up my files the way they should be.
Okay, so we're gonna need copies of those, at least
Okay.
3 for each program. If you had any did you have any students take a leave of absence?
Yes.
Okay, did they fill out a leave of absence form?
Yes.
All right, so we would need at least 3 of those if you have them.
Okay.
All right, great. Now we're moving on. Let's see.
How far do they go back into your files?
Usually 12 months.
12 months.
Because usually a school owner has gone to the conference. So now that they've been to the conference, they kind of know how things should be operating and working.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a catalog, so I'm just going past this catalog. All right. Okay, so the next section. Now, when students start, do you have them to sign the orientation forms?
We'll have them sign off on everything that we covered in the orientation, whether it be like the books and it's probably about 12 things on there. It's just, it helps me as a checklist to make sure we've kind of went over it, and then I have them sign it.
Okay, do you see this pre-enrollment receipt?
Uh-huh.
So if you got something that's similar to that, also, I'm gonna show you. Do you have that pre-enrollment receipt?
The like what they fill out with their name, address, and basic information. Is that what you're saying?
No, this sheet right here. Do you see this?
That's the sheet that I would use when we do orientation, that they got the school catalog.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't
Okay.
really put, I don't think that I have graduation rate in there.
Well, I'm going to give you this. I'll send you a copy of this sheet because you want to make sure that they're filling out this sheet. So you can.
Yeah, I have this. That's not my checklist. I don't have those things on my checklist.
Okay, because these are required from NACA. So what we'll do, when I send you this, you can have your last students that started to fill this out.
Okay. Okay.
On the enrollment agreement, you don't want to leave anything blank.
I did I'll send you a copy of it, but I did it just like, didn't change any words and just filled in my information on that.
All right. So the students that took a leave of absence, did you have them to fill out an enrollment agreement addendum?
No.
Okay.
That means that when we set up the contract, if it's a college student, you start in July of 20, your anticipating graduation is July of 2021, but you take a leave of absence for a week or so, and then that adds on another week. No, I did not document that.
Okay, well, if they took a leave of absence and you have it documented that they did take a leave of absence,
Mm-hmm.
if, if they took it for however long, that would probably extend their contract date. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but do I have to have the documentation to say, okay, it's not going to be July of 2021. You took up to a 30-day leave of absence, so it's going to be August of 21. Is that what it should be documented like that?
Yes.
Okay,
So-
I did not go further into the contract because that student is still here. So is still an opportunity to do that. But the previous students, I didn't really have anyone.
Yeah, well, don't
that
worry
took a
about
leave.
that. We're not
Okay.
gonna worry about them. And when you fill it out, you see how it says original start date? So you'll get
Uh-huh.
it from the contract and then original end date.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're gonna put the revised end date.
Okay, and I don't have that line on mine that says revised end
But
date.
that's okay.
Oh,
I'll send you one of these. I just want to make sure
okay.
you got the correct documents. All right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
On your enrollment agreement, so you're not leaving anything blank. We already know that.
Mm-mm. And just put NA through things that don't apply to me.
Yes, correct.
Mhm.
All right, so you got an enrollment agreement. Okay, the leave of absence, you did have people to take a leave of absence, right?
Yes. Whether it be a week, up to 30 days.
Okay, and you have a leave of absence form?
Yes.
Okay,
And they sign it and I sign it with the date that it started and the anticipated date that they would return.
okay, great. And then you sign it, all that. So do you
Mhm.
have this form right here that we're looking at? The leave of absence?
No, I just have another form that they were using when I purchased it.
Okay, I'm going to send you this leave of absence because this form is in compliance with NACAS. And you
Okay.
can kind of check it against the form that you have.
Okay.
All right, so we'll move on. All right. So, okay, so. All right. Leave of absence. So, leave of absence transfer. So now number 5, student support. On the orientation, if NACAS asks you, make sure that you tell them you have orientation before they start school.
Oh, you cannot have it the day of school?
You can have it the day of. If you tell them the day of, but it was before they actually sat in the classroom to
They
start.
ask you what?
Before they sat in the classroom getting hours.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first thing we do.
Okay, good. Mm. Okay. So we have that. Mm. The next
Well, they
thing,
asked to see the application of the instructors that because really when I hired her, I really didn't do that.
no, they're not gonna ask for application for them.
Okay.
Now, do you have the lesson plan for the barber, Cosmo, crossover, manicure, and instructor?
No.
Okay. Do you have
So you
lessons?
mean like a planned out way that I'm going to do it? I've started the plan. I just had to finish the barber program that I did a learning path for it. But before that, I didn't have a plan of how it was going to flow, if
Okay,
that's
now,
what you're asking.
do you have lesson? Can you see this screen right here?
Uh-huh.
You see this lesson plan?
Yep.
Okay, and then it also has the test.
Uh-huh.
Um, let's see what else. So do you have all of that for each program?
Yes, I use My Lady and I use what do you call it? Their program that you do it on the it's already set up. It's Pivot Point. I use
Okay,
Pivot, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not
yeah.
just making it, I'm going by their lesson plan.
Okay, well, make sure that you print out the full a lesson plan, a chapter, just print out a chapter for the barber for each program that you offer, but make sure you have like where it has the test that you're going to give them,
Mm-hmm.
the full lesson plan. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. It's just that I have not, I wasn't teaching it like that. I mean,
Well, it doesn't matter. If you have those lesson plans, because that's the order that NACA's wants them,
well,
because
it's not in, it's on,
a
oh, I
disc,
can't
right?
even find the right words.
Or
Huh?
online. Is it
Yeah.
online or you want to just?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's online.
Okay. Yeah, you should be able to print that out. If not, let me know.
Okay.
All right. And then we'll need the resumes of the owners. Did any students withdraw?
I have since I've been here, maybe two off the top of my head.
Okay. Do you see this withdrawal record? This withdrawal.
Uh-huh.
Did you have them to fill out one of these?
No.
Okay, we're going to have to fill out. You said you had one or two people.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll have to fill out this, and we'll do it together. It'll be very simple. I'm gonna ask you some questions, a name, when they withdrew, how many hours they had, and I'll do the calculations for you.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you say withdrew, it's the same as if I term is that would be the same as if they decide that they didn't want to finish the program, or I decided they were no longer a good fit for the program. Same
Exactly.
thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's gonna be more than two. It'd probably be about 5.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do those. I'll send you a video training on that too.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. So you'll know how to do that.
Okay.
And
And
then
that
you,
form right there, is that in, can you send me that form? I haven't seen that
yeah.
form before. Okay.
I'll send that, email that to you. Okay, and then you already have the resume.
I don't have a resume.
You don't,
I
okay.
guess I have to create
I
one.
send you an example of one, that way you can just easily copy, cut, and paste.
Yes. Okay. Great. That sounds good.
Okay. We're gonna need a copy of the outside sign. NACAS requires that.
Oh, wow. See, so right now, like I told you, I'm changing it over and they're making my sign now. And he's probably not going to finish that, he said, until the end of November. Is that going to be a problem?
No, that's fine. Yeah, because we
Okay.
probably won't submit it. This is everything we going over is probably gonna take you some time to get all of
It
this.
is. Okay. Good.
Okay. The students, do you evaluate the students? Like, do they get any practical grades? Do you grade them like on haircutting or shampooing or whatever?
So we grade them on test wise when they take the test over the theory that's been given. When we on the practical side, when they work on their mannequin work, it's not a grade. It's like, yes, that looks good, or no, let me show you something that would be better. There's no, I hadn't been giving them a grade on that.
Okay. On the practical grade, you want to start giving them practical grades? Because NACA,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, they want to see examples of practical grades. I can send you like an example.
Okay. What we do is like when they come and they start, we have on the practical side, like we'll say, we need you to do, 15 perm rod wraps to show
Mhm.
that you have done it in each time, and then we check off and sign off on it that way. Would that be considered practical work grade, even though we're not giving them a letter grade?
That's practical work, but not the grade. Can you see this sheet that I have here?
Yep.
That's the type of grade they want. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay, I need that then. I don't have that. I haven't been doing that.
Okay, I'll send you some of those. Also, the students, are you evaluating them, giving them the SAP, satisfactory academic progress reports?
No. I mean, moving forward, because I just graduated a lot of students, so this is a new group that I have come in. So that was my intention, to when they get to that 450, depending on what program it was, to sit down and do the evaluation and basically go over their grades, do the average for that. This is your grade point average in your grades. This is your attendance rate, that type of thing. And just, have a general conversation about how they can improve moving forward. I just haven't did it with this new set of students that I have coming in. I knew that I was supposed to, I just didn't get it done.
Okay, that's no problem. So we want to start doing those because we're gonna, what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to have at least 3 of these for each program.
Okay.
Now, on a 1,500-hour program, the satisfactory academic progress report is supposed to be done at 450 hours, 900 hours, 1,200 hours, and 1,500. Does that make sense?
So 4 times.
Right, but then on a 600-hour course, it would be like 300 and 600. So it's broken down like that. So,
How would it be for barbering if it's 1,000-hour program?
okay, if it's a 1,000-hour program, let me see, 1,000 is, I'll look in my rules and regs for that. Let me write
Okay.
it down because I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's probably 3 times.
Yeah, probably.
Like 3.
Let's see. And then that's it. So what I'm going to do, I got this recorded. I'm going to send you this as soon as it downloads. And then I'm going to also send you these forms. And then I want you to follow up with me.
Okay.
Okay?